Hello, it's Monday, August 29th, and we are having problems again with MN and their subcontractors. Last week I had to call, or I shouldn't say call, I had to file reports with the City of Bellevue because they had cars all over the street, 117th Avenue Southeast, where they're building. They had so many cars up and down the street that it was hard to get through. They also had them parked so that I couldn't see getting out of my driveway, which you can see here. Today I came out to go to a meeting, and there was a truck parked within 30 feet of the stop sign. Again, the other day they had parked all the way up parallel with the stop sign, and there were 6 cars lined up behind and then 2 over on that side. This morning you can see that the truck that was hooked up to that trailer, the young man that's with that came out and unhooked from it, said that his uncle is the one that owns the truck. So he must be the subcontractor, and this young man unhooked and just went to lunch is what he was saying. But they've left everything here, and we've got multiple other cars there. There was right over here on this other side of my driveway, there was a vehicle there as well earlier that's gone. And then this right here is parked within the 5 feet of my driveway, so I can't see out. That was really fun. So, and then the corner here. So we're just kind of over this at this point. The neighbors are. I do see that they put the black tarping around the front again, finally, because it was down and trash from the build site had been spilling out the front and blowing all over the place. But I called this guy, who's the project manager, Zach. And one thing that's really irritating is when I was talking to Zach, he claimed that prior to the build start, that he came out and knocked on my door and that everything was fine. I had to call him on his bullshit because I didn't receive any notification that this build was going to start. When they started demo, I found out because I came home one day and there was a guy over here digging a huge trench so that they could disconnect their water. That's how I found out that demolition on the house that used to be there was going to start and that the whole project was going to start. I didn't hear from MN at all until a week after all of that started. And they actually, the funny thing is that they didn't talk to me. They left this on my door. So I actually didn't talk to anybody. When I talked to Zach and his buddy was the week after Easter. And that is because somebody, not me, but somebody else had called in and complained about the subs working past the legal time, the legal quitting time, which is 7 for the noise ordinance. And also they had been working on Easter Sunday. So somebody had called in and reported that. And that's when Zach and his friends showed up. So that was all the way in April. And this build started before that. So I'm just, when I called Zach, he tried to play this off as I'm a whiner. I'm a difficult neighbor. Nobody else is complaining. Oh, yes, I see. This isn't your neighborhood. Do you own the neighborhood? That's public streets. Do you own the public streets? And when I asked him, because he had been on site, I asked the young man that was with the truck this morning, have you seen a project manager? He said, yeah, he was on site. I don't know if he's still here. And that's when I went in and got Zach's card. So Zach had been out. He had seen that they were parked all the way up to the stop sign. And so when I mentioned that to him, that I knew he'd been on site, his excuse was, well, parking isn't the first thing that I look at. I don't even look at that. So I said, maybe you should, because it sounds like it's a problem on a bunch of your projects from what I'm hearing from other people across the city. And he blew that off. He also just said, got real defensive and said, I can't be on site 24/7. What are you expecting from me? And I said, I expect that you represent MN who says, hey, we're a great neighbor during these builds, that you actually make sure that, whether we like what you're doing or not in our neighborhoods, that you are actually a good neighbor during builds, that you don't let your sites get all trashy and gross and let trash blow all over the place from your sites, that you don't block neighbors in. Oh, when I told him too about how the 2 days actually that I found myself blocked in, I couldn't get out of this garage because they were unloading things, and at least one fellow had told me prior to parking and starting to unload so that I could move my vehicle. But the second time I had no notification. I was completely blocked in, and I had a meeting that I had to go to. So that was not fun, and Zach does not care. That's not his problem. That's the sub's problem. So I'm just recording all this stuff because I want to demonstrate that MN does not follow through on what they say, and I need the city to hold them accountable.